Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Wendy Walsh, and this is my live stream. I can see that everyone's coming on board, so I'll give you a few minutes to show up and say hello. As usual, it's always fun at the beginning to see where you're watching from. So make sure you give me a hand wave, give me a hello, tell me where you're watching from, because it's always fun to see. Let me open up the comments over here. I see Instagram up there. Hi, Instagram. How are you? And where are my comments? Can't post comments to some destinations. Learn more. I don't need to learn more. I just want to post some of them. Let me turn on my banner. And there's our comments. Hey guys, so this is my Wednesday night live stream where I like to tell you, answer your questions about relationships. Hi, Sydney, how are you? Hi, Michael from Orlando. I shouldn't be squinting. I should put on my glasses. It's not good for your eyesight to squint. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, North Carolina. How are you? You're getting ready for your vacation next week? That's cool. Where are you headed? Hi from, there's Michael from Orlando. Who else we got? So we're streaming on Instagram up here, and down here on StreamYard, we have Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. I don't know who else we have. We got lots of streaming in lots of places. Hello, Michigan, Lake Orion, Michigan. Fellow Canadian. Yeah, I'm just putting my glasses on so I could see. You liked my curly hair, Hannah. I know. I just thought I'd try it out on TikTok this week, and I swear people stopped listening to the content and were mesmerized by my frizzy hair. See, the thing about my hair that I don't like is it's super curly underneath, like literally ringlets, and then these weird waves on top. So I'm either trying to add more on the top or loosen up the bottom. Anyway, if you haven't seen, you can go over to my TikTok channel and see lots of crazy hair. Sydney is always ready with the first question. Hey, everybody, let me know where you're watching from because it's always exciting for me to know. Hi, Scott from Arizona. How are you? Okay, Sydney's first question. Let me pop it up there because Sydney is just, you must be researching all week, Sydney. What are the ways to deal with somebody that is over-controlling? Well, no matter what the behavior is in a relationship, over-controlling, under-controlling, smothering you with love, not returning your phone calls, the way to deal with it is not to get into kind of a battle of the facts, right? So if you say to somebody, I find you really controlling. No, I'm not. And then you're just arguing facts. How about when you do this, I notice that I'm feeling this. You see, there's no argument there because nobody can argue with your feelings. Your feelings are your feelings. Of course, the controlling person will say, what do they say? You're overreacting, right? That's their favorite way of trying to dismiss your feelings. So there's no such thing as an overreaction. Emotionally, there's only a reaction, and it's your reaction. Now, how much of your reaction is related to your own early childhood experiences that might have amplified your perception of what's going on? That's for you to work out, right? But it's okay to say to somebody that you're in a relationship with, hey, when you do this or when you say this, I feel this. But don't get into, hi, Linda from Pasadena. Hi, Maria from Costa Rica. Hi, Janice from Camarillo. I was in Camarillo on Sunday. Yeah. Because I kind of went up, I took my boyfriend up to our campus, Cal State Channel Islands in Camarillo. Of course, we drive all the way up there, and then I forgot my office keys. But the campus is now open, which is great. It looks like we are going back to school in late August, which will be wonderful. Somebody says, no, men and women can't be friends. Men and women certainly can be friends, but the man in that friendship is in a friend zone, hoping it'll be more. If you're both heterosexual, trust me. You're not going to waste your time hanging out with a woman, doing favors for her when she's just being a friend, unless you're thinking, well, maybe someday if there's a chance, whatever. Okay, so Michael asked me a question. This is a good one. One of the first books I ever bought back when Amazon was a bookstore was The 5 Love Languages. What are your thoughts on it? Do you recommend it? Well, I was actually reading something in one of the psychology journals this week saying, the problem with it is that there's no research on it. And in fact, they've studied and tried to correlate these love languages in something that's quantifiable. And the answer is no, it's kind of like astrology, right? However, having said that, it was written by, I think, a guy who's not even a psychotherapist. Hi, the man from Montreal. How are you? But it, what did I want to say? It has some good wisdom in it. but it's not science. It's not psychology. It's somebody's language for love, pun intended, and their way of explaining it. And if it resonates with you, great. But I would say that attachment style is a much bigger thing. Can you talk about avoidance? How do you reach someone who is very triggered and in an avoidance spiral and doing all kinds of deactivating strategies to push you away? Wow, that's a big question. Okay, deactivating strategies, for those who don't know, are when some people, when they have trouble tolerating too much intimacy, just when things are going well, when you're getting close and everything's great, they disappear, they check out. Either they check out literally by being physically with you and just being dismissive and one-word answers or staring at the TV or the game, or they physically, literally don't call or text for a while. And the answer is wait and see. There's nothing you can do, because the more, especially if you have an anxious attachment style, the more you move forward, you're just going to chase them back. Now, the real question is not what to do to try to get an avoidant person to move closer. The real question is, why do you want to change that person? How about talking about your feeling of longing? I would use their deactivating behaviors as a great way for you to stop and feel what you're feeling and kind of say, wow, like this longing, this anxiety feels bad. I'm going to explore it. I'm going to thank the universe for this gift of this person who's bringing up these feelings in me, because they're your feelings. You own them, right? Oh, I love Linda's comment. I'm pretty sure I'm anxious avoidant. So much fun. My dog doesn't seem to mind. You know, it's funny you brought up pets, because I have this unscientific idea that the huge growth in pet ownership is highly correlated with the fact that people are living alone for longer, or more people living alone. And sometimes pets are used as attachment figures. So for the avoidant person, the pet functions very well as somebody that won't come too close and won't talk to them about their feelings. And for the anxious person, they're the person that's always there, the nice little lap dog that won't leave, right? So they work both ways for people. Thank you, engineer, for my shirt. I bought this in Stockholm when I was visiting my daughter, Carrington, who was there on her semester abroad. What other questions do you have? Any more questions about love and relationships? Waiting, says the professor. Waiting. Hi, Kareem from Sydney. How are you? How do you mend a relationship? Is there more to that? What happened? In general, there are two really big words that everybody needs to learn to say in relationships, and that's I'm sorry. Even if the other person seems to be the one that did the wrong thing, it's okay to say, I'm sorry if I misunderstood your intentions, or I'm sorry if I didn't understand why you did that. Tips on dating a newly divorced man. Be careful, because if they're really newly divorced, he's just practicing. He's just getting his stride back, and you're maybe the rebound relationship. So talk about all the feelings all the way along to make sure. Do depression and avoidant attachment style go hand in hand? Not necessarily. Plenty of people who have an avoidant attachment style are so disconnected from their own feelings. By the way, I'm just letting you guys know that I used to have two big lights on. I only have one this time because one of them blew up just as I was getting set up. And now I'm smelling that sound again. So if you see me scream and jump, it means this light is going to blow up too. I have two. They were bought at the same time. Maybe they'll blow up on the same day. Someone says, hello, Andrea from Oregon. If you're with someone for several years and still struggling to feel the chemistry, then maybe it's time to move on. It depends what you describe as chemistry, though. But if you mean that you guys don't have the sexual communication to get the sexual skills happening, or if you feel like your roommates, maybe there's not enough intimacy. You know, relationships do take work, right? You have to create novelty in long-term relationships. You have to go out. That's why date nights exist. Go out to different places, do different things. But if you're 3 years into it and you've been adding novelty and you're not feeling like this relationship is supportive of you. You have to remember what a relationship is, right? I mean, it's an exchange of care, and that care can take so many forms. But if you feel like you're not being cared for emotionally or sexually, and you've discussed it, then, who knows? Maybe it's time to move on. Hello, Philip from Palmdale. Nice to see you. Sydney, always with the good questions. How can I find out my attachment style? The very best test that's used in research studies around the world, the researcher who invented it, his name is Chris Fraley, Fraley, and he's constantly collecting data on attachment style. So he puts it right there on the internet. So if you simply Google the words Chris Fraley, attachment style, you'll get a really great attachment test. Kareem says, how well are you able to apply your deep relationship knowledge in your own relationships? I guess you would have to ask my boyfriend that question, because he most often gets the question, aren't you terrified to have a relationship with a relationship expert? I think for the most part, I can, because I kind of have an analytical mind, right? So if he says something that kind of gets me upset, might find myself feeling like saying something like, I also have a lot of insight. So I might say, I'm feeling really kind of stressed about the way you said that. And I'm wondering if it's how I took it or what you intended or what have you. So I'm always analyzing. Probably drives. I'm smelling something burning. This is so terrifying. I'm going to have to wrap up soon, seriously, because this light is going to explode. This would not be good. Okay, Pilot, I just want to say this. If you have 2 toddlers in your house, forget your love languages. This is the phase of relationship that's very, very difficult. And this is when you have to go into your prefrontal cortex and make a commitment to that relationship and ask yourself, not what has my relationship done for me lately, but what can I do for my relationship? And look, if you're looking for passion in your relationship and you have toddlers in the house, foreplay might be cleaning the house. It might be getting childcare. It might be just alleviating her of all the stress. And I know you're going to say that you're a very involved dad and you're doing as much too, and maybe you are, but you guys need to de-stress and then create novelty. Get out of the house that's just the place of nurturing, and you've got to get to a place that's a little more exciting. Sydney, I'm going to close with Sydney because I'm really worried this light is going to blow up. Tips for getting better at being vulnerable. Practice on people where the risk is very low. So maybe you have a close same-sex friend and start to confide to them a little bit more. Just practice using feeling words. You can actually look up at the internet. They're like 36 main feeling words. And so get in the habit of starting conversations with I feel, and practice with family members that don't trigger you, the ones that love you just for you, friends that will do that. Okay. Thank you, Terry, for the nice little crush. I'll tell my boyfriend. Anyway, it's lovely to see you all. I'm going to close because I'm worried this light is going to blow up right in my face because it's smelling like it's burning, and this is scary. Here's what I want to tell you. These live streams by the end of this month are going behind a paywall. I've been setting up a Patreon page. It's only $4 a month. It's easy. I highly suggest everyone come over to Patreon, search on Patreon, patreon.com, Patreon, patreon.com, and search Dr. Wendy Walsh. And after August 31st, I'm going to be doing 3 live streams a week with specific groups. Like I'm going to do one for single women. I'm going to do one for all genders, one for people who want more geeky teaching. I'm going to set up Zooms where I do my slideshows for the geeks that really care about that. So we're going to have a lot of fun over there. In addition, that's where the podcast is going to be, continue on, new episodes. So just letting you know now, we have a few more weeks of this fun. And then we're heading over to a private community at Patreon, which will be a lot of fun. All right. Thank you for being here. I'm worried my light's going to blow up, so I've got to say goodbye on my live stream. All right. Bye. And